What up, guys? We're in sign-on mode, so I'm going to sign on. Today got a special treat, Olympia edition leg day with Miss Olympia, Andrea Shaw, soon to be Mr. Olympia, Terrence Ruffin. Woo! He's here every day, so that's boring anyway. But it's same old stuff, same old Terrence, whatever. I get spoiled. You get to work out with one of the best bodybuilders in the world, best poser of all time. And I get used to it. I guess I should be pretty happy. What am I doing? Signing on. So we got a leg day for you today. Both of them are 5 weeks out from the Olympia stage, so keep that in mind. And I'll give you guys a little bit of context as we go through the different exercises, what we're doing for warm-ups, number of sets, why we're doing all that. Probably won't be a ton of cueing today, because obviously Terrence has heard me cueing for how many years now? Too many years? And Andrew, we've trained legs once before, and even just looking at our warm-ups, I might say one or two little things here and there. But anyway, so that is the day, leg day. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Back on, stand up like backbone. I'm beast mode, I'm so strong. Go hard or go on. No stopping, I can't stop. I will not lose. I'ma always win. Now let the games begin now.
What torture do we have planned?
Well, if you're down for our workout, we do seated leg curls, superset with hacks to start. So some of the stuff we did last time anyway, I don't know if it'll be a whole lot different. So we'll superset those, but like we go slow, not like your pace on how things. Yeah.
We had these sore for like 4 days.
Perfect. Yes. So we'll go slow on those. I think we're down to. I just had you doing one working set there now, right?
On the hacks?
Yeah.
I think so.
So normally we'll do obviously volume we can figure out, but he'll do 2 on the leg curl, 2 working sets on the leg curl, 1 working set on the hack. Then once we're done with those, we'll do superset with the leg press and lying leg curl. And same thing, we'll go slow, like long rest before working sets. And normally do 2 sets on the lying leg curl. I think we're down to 1 now on the leg press as well. I only had to do 1 last week. It was the first time we did 1. So I got his volume is like really low right now at this point. So we're still
5 weeks out.
Yeah. So he's still training. We'll train pretty much to failure on everything still on the working sets, but literally on the big movements, just 1 working set, and then we'll finish with split squat variation. So he's been doing 1 in the Smith.
Oh yeah, I want to try that one.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, we'll do that again. That's pretty much it. So 5 movements, and yeah, that's it, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
5 weeks out.
Yeah.
Every day I go to work. It ain't no time to relax. I put the time on the map.
I see contraction, not swing. There we go. Control.
It ain't no time to relax. I put the time on the map. I put the time on the map. I gotta
All right, right here with you. Use the phone ones. Let's go. Let's go. Good. Another one. Another Tampa reps. Came for these ones. Let's go. Go. Let's go. 1 more. We'll have these reps in Michigan. Let's go. Hard. Finish.
You should repent. You out here snatching souls. That's good. Like you said, you can never have hamstrings that are too big. We want good leg shots from the back.
Tiff, I visualize while she's doing those reps is every single rep is like a bite of cheesecake. Hump. There's another bite. Hump. There's another bite. So that's just one rep at a time. We're just burning off that cheesecake. Sometimes it's about bigger quads. Sometimes it's about vegan cheesecake.
You should jump right off like they Postmates. Best I got no chill, I don't hold back. Cause I run them down till they on flat. My knee got up on trigger, need no strap. Press on system, blow right through my whole cap. I say all in the studio, I sleep in it. Watch time drain up the sink Bennett. Cause I got a heap of my teeth in it. Get a set up a pop and I'm pushing P. Put that pressure, I'm pushing them weak. I hang up a tank, I don't see no limit. You stuck in the box, you don't see the ceiling. They used to be me, now I'm back in business. I can settle it now if I want it. My foot on your face on the track. They been thinking that they killing, let me lose something. They gon' lose something, tryna prove something. I'm proper than hotter than bullet water, demolishing with a crew. Come on, you got some kids to me. Don't get put in your place, get no chill in me. I got bottle of sugar, no pills in me. I got loose up this can and we still spinning. No, you don't want problems on me.
Every day I go to work, it ain't no time to relax. I put the time on the map, I put the team on my back. Every day I go.
So like that's like on a typical first session, like if we're especially talking like a normal person that's like never worked out before, like I might do like 3 exercises sometimes. Like that'd be it. For someone medium 4 or 5, depending on how long I've got with them. Like I'll normally like I'll superset for time so people don't feel like it's like too tedious. But as we're going through the warm-up sets, like the first 2 or 3 will be super sub-maximal, just like working on one form thing at a time. So it's like the first 3, even though I might taper up with load a teeny bit, is literally just as light as I can possibly go, just trying to get some sort of progression in form. And then I kind of go in the middle where it's like, then I'm gonna put a teeniest bit of weight on them, you know, to have some level of fatigue present while maybe still giving them one more form thing. But that'll be like, that first set would probably still be like 10 reps short of failure, maybe technically like 15 reps short of like real failure. And then from there, every set, I would just edge them a teeny bit closer. But like I would have them doing like almost every set, like they wouldn't do super low warm-ups like we do. I'd probably keep everything somewhere between like 5 and 10 reps every single set. So one, they're accumulating a little bit of fatigue, so they feel like they did something. But basically every single set, I'd just be trying to push the form a little bit and then just seeing what level of fatigue they can tolerate and maintain form. But no, I would never take them anywhere near failure. For most normal people, again, form is such a very, very real and powerful form of progressive overload, right? And that's all that it is. I mean, that's the whole thing with the logbook, the whole thing with training to failure is like, what's the appropriate adaptation at that given point in time? And that's where like the joke is, even with some people, I won't say names, it rhymes with Schmilheath, but some people, if they, whatever stimulus you're giving is always enough to grow, then there's never any point to train to failure. I mean, like most time, like I've seen Phil train to failure on a couple things, but not too often. But there's no point. I mean, obviously, like again, you look at Phil, there's no point in time he needed to be bigger. Like when he went from amateur to pro, I mean, honestly, had he stayed the same size from, obviously his first couple pros, technically obviously weren't enough to win Olympias, but then as soon as he won an Olympia, he didn't need to get any bigger. So why would he train any harder or any closer to failure?
Get it. Gonna question you with us, you wizard. I'm in a pushing the limits. Better finish the race. Who's And the faith still going away. That's why I press the dial. Ain't no more waiting, no rest. The back to business.
All right, stimulus to fatigue ratio. That is the cool saying that the kids are saying now when you're evidence-based or optimal or whatever it is. And again, I joke, but you know, because obviously there's a good concept there. I'm all for efficiency, but I'm gonna give you guys a secret. I'm gonna give you a secret for how you can have more stimulus, less tax on recovery for your leg day. You ready? The advice is go deeper. Go full range of motion. No one's gonna like that because it's hard. Everyone likes to use the term stimulus to fatigue ratio. Normally, not all the time, I know a ton of hard training individuals that talk about obviously efficient stuff, but most people use that term as a good reason to justify not training hard. But full depth, when your body has it available, is absolutely the single best thing that you can do to minimize the amount of fatigue and maximize the amount of stimulus. So I see people, and especially for strong people, I mean, if you just got somebody that can do 8, 9 plates, whatever on a hack squat, but they technically could smash into the hamstring, into the calf a little bit further, go a little bit deeper, you're gonna have to go lighter because it's harder in that position. So you go lighter, but still get actually more stimulus on the quads with less axial loading. There's another cool term that somebody made up, with less actual tax on everything between the pad and the muscles you're trying to train, actually loading all that musculature of your body as well too. So if you want to maximize stimulus, if you want to minimize fatigue, go deeper, own that range of motion, train down there. And again, that's probably one of the best, most practical tools that I can give anybody to make sure you're maximizing that principle.
Hey. Better lay down and stay down. Where I come from, we don't play around. Yeah, I'm the one. Even at my worst, I'm the best. Give my all till it ain't none left. Don't sweat, I'm the one. Yeah, I'm the one. Won't stop till I'm done. Yeah, I'm the one. This a game you don't wanna play. Take chances, make it happen. Took all of my L's like practice. Bounce back to the top like magic. All you need is hard work plus passion. Everything I wanted, I imagined. Sky was the limit till we blew right past it. The only goal is trying to go.
Let's go. Let's go. Finish.
For the playback, I use success as my payback, so take that. We don't fabricate cause it's fake, we just stay facts. Believe me when I say this, we up next to be the greatest. It ain't organic if you fake it till you make it. Knew this day would come, I can taste it. I was not born to be basic, was born to bleed greatness. Better lay down and stay down. Where I come from,
let's go.
Around. Yeah, I'm the one. Even at my worst, I'm the best. Give my all till it ain't none left. Don't sweat, I'm the one.
Good.
Yeah, I'm the one. Won't stop till I'm done. Yeah, I'm the
Good. Couple more now. Right here, let's go. All right, we got 3, best 3, come on. 3 Olympias, 3 reps, let's go, come on.
That's right.
2, let's go. Yeah, one more, come on, best rep.
Victory, baby, victory. You got my head. That's all I need to hear.
We don't play around, yeah, I'm the one. Even at my worst, I'm the best. Give my all till it ain't none left. Don't sweat, I'm the one. Yeah, I'm the one. Won't stop till I'm done. Yeah, I'm the one. Yeah, I'm the one. Won't stop till I'm done. Yeah, I'm the one. Yeah, I'm back in, I'm back home. Stand up like backbone. I'm beast mode, I'm so strong. Go hard and go on. No stopping, I can't stop. I will not lose. I'ma always win. Let the games begin.
Got you, we're not doing time here. Keep them pretty.
I'm never off my grind. I'm always on time. I'm ahead of the game, I'm first place. I'm in my prime. Hard work that pays off. I pay dues, I'm paid off. Cross me, get crossed off. I'm so
Good to meet you.
Have fun, guys. I'm gonna go cover a week late.
Yeah, sweet. Have fun. All right, guys. Last movement you saw a little bit of clips here doing is I believe we've been named him, Terrence named him the bazooka split squat variation. So basically just a split squat, putting the load and keeping the load over one leg. Honestly, I always say split squat variations, lunge variations are always one of those movements where I kind of put it in a similar category almost as like presses, like chest presses, where there's a ton of different good options. There's little trade-offs, so the same as obviously like doing a dumbbell press, you know, with for chest, you get a little bit more kind of freedom, range of motion, but then there's a little bit lack of stability compared to like a machine. It's kind of the same thing here. So again, when I say all that, the main consideration should be which one do you prefer, which one do you perform better on, and the differences from them are nominal. So again, the ones that you have to balance on a little bit more, you can maybe make an argument, especially there's a little bit more going on at the hip, a little bit more at the ankle. But again, personal preference. I can honestly say over the past 20 years, I've programmed for long periods of time walking lunges, stationary split squats with dumbbells, split squats with a barbell on my back, split squats in the Smith. And I really don't have a preference. And we tend to rotate them pretty often. So anyway, if you've never tried this one before, give it a shot, see if you like it. If you like it, have at it. If you don't, try one of the other ones. But anyway, that is our leg day today. The only other context I'll give, again, for the difference between training volume for myself, for Terrence, for Andrea, is you know, just people are individual. People get really caught up on volume. So for Terrence, we had one working set for each big quad movement, 2 working sets for the hamstring movements, and that's perfect for where he's at right now for 5 weeks out, where again, I still think he can grow a teeny bit, but more than anything, just to kind of hold on to tissue at this point in time. And then again, generally do about 2 working sets on the split squats here as well too. Andrea, I would definitely put up a little bit more volume, did a little bit more volume on the warm-up sets as well too. And I kind of said I have to do that when, again, it's only the second time, maybe third time I've ever trained her. And so I would say she's still not quite acclimated to the same way that we train, and I also don't think she needs to train the same way that we train. So I adjusted her training a little bit to where I actually wanted to accumulate a little bit more fatigue with her warm-up sets. So almost all of her warm-up sets were still in like that 10 rep range, really kind of nailed form on her. And again, because I had a little bit more fatigue going into the sets, it allowed me to get a little bit more out of the working sets with a little bit less load. And I generally had her doing 2 to 3 working sets on pretty much every single exercise. And so one that gives me more time to really nail her form, more time than I'd obviously need to spend on myself or Terrence. And then also when she gets, again, like I said, to the top sets, don't have to use quite as much load and more likely to have that form hold. And she trains great. Obviously, you see she has very good form on everything, really stuck in the sets very well. And then I also said, we said jokingly, if you guys didn't kind of catch some of the inside jokes there, she just competed last weekend, just won a show last weekend. And so she had a little bit of time off for eating before she starts the Olympia. And so was joking about how much she ate, holding a little bit of water, things like that. So she said she wanted a little bit more output from this workout. So literally half of that was just actually getting a little bit more caloric output, which again, you know, on paper, I would never say is a great goal with your training. Your training should generally be either to, you know, put on tissue or not put on tissue. But again, there's always context and there's always individual things there. And then myself, I did 1 working set on everything. So again, people always say sometimes, what are your goals, whatever. I mean, my goal since 2018 is just to kind of get smaller and be at a weight where I feel good, I can move good. I do a lot of cardio, a lot of running around with my kids, a lot of stuff outside the gym. And so the nice balance here, and I don't get a lot of sleep, unfortunately, especially with phases with my kids. So my goal in the gym most of the time is to maintain. And I found what works the best is keeping my volume rock bottom. 1 working set on most things. That still allows me to do a lot of cardio outside the gym because I was really having a tough time finding a balance before when sleep's a little bit low as well too. And what I found is, so right now body weight's around 210, pretty lean, can do all the things that I want to do, and I can maintain it with where I'm at. And if my sleep ever picks up, like as soon as my sleep is actually to the point where it's 7.5, 8 hours, I find I start to make progress in the gym and I actually put on a little bit of tissue again. So for me, maintenance is the main goal. Being able to run around with my kids is the main goal, and rock bottom volume is probably the best way for me to do that. And I like to train sets to failure as well too. That's just a preference. So the lower volume allows me to do that same thing as well. Train to failure, good stimulus to maintain, but also, you know, something that I can handle recovering from. So that's a little bit of a difference. Obviously, we have 3 different ranges of volume within the same workout. So just want to give you guys some context of the goals and the individual. And again, at the end of the day, I'm happy with the way that I'm looking. Andrea's winning Olympias. Terrence is getting as close as possible to winning Olympias, soon to win Olympias. So that's an example. I always say like the volume's not that important. It's everything else that's more important. How you do forms, how your form is, how you do sets, how far you take sets, how good you are with consistency, adherence, and especially outside the gym. And volume's very, very individual. I don't actually technically prescribe, a specific amount to anyone. It's just always on an individual basis. So anyway, hope you guys like the workout. If you guys got questions, comments, concerns, leave me some comments down below. Get down there, interact, make some friends, talk about muscles, and I'll see you guys next time.